Hello and welcome to Looking for a Man in His 30s, a Criminal Minds podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Sara, and today we'll be discussing Season 1, Episode 19, Machismo, which premiered on April 12th, 2006.
But first, before we get into that, let's have a little chat, Sara.
Yeah, why not?
Now, earlier I sent you something which just said teaser, dishwasher. And you reacted like, what the fuck? Because I think that I normally only send you like teaser when it's the true crime.
Yeah.
And so I thought after that, she probably is like, wait, what the hell? How does this involve a dishwasher?
Yeah, my brain was like racking stuff. I was like, what the?
It doesn't. Don't worry. Basically, while I was microwaving my leftover Chinese for lunch, and I was doing that thing where it's like, okay, see how many things you can get unloaded from the dishwasher in the 2 minutes that your food is in the microwave. So I'm like doing that, and I'm like, not a lot of this is coming out clean. What the hell's going on? And so I was like, right, well, there's only a few items that are clean. I've taken those out. I may as well put the rest of it, like the stuff from yesterday, into the machine and run it again. But I was like, right, okay, what would be the reason things aren't coming out clean? And I was like, right, dishwasher salt. And you don't have a dishwasher, so you might not know this, but the dishwasher salt thing, it's always filled to the brim with water.
Yeah.
And so when you're pouring the salt in, it's displacing the water, but it never looks like the salt is filling anything up. And I'm like, I don't know what to do here. And so I thought, okay, right, well, we've done that best we can. Rinse aid. And so I put in the rinse aid, and then I'm just like, I'm going to put the bottom drawer of the dishwasher back in. And I'm like, what the hell is that in the corner? It looks like something, like it's a little bit of plastic. And it looks like it's just fallen off. And so I'm like reaching back in case it's like something like that was washed. Yeah. It just fallen to the bottom. And I swear to God, Sara, right, I'm going to get up the pictures because I did take it because I think I fixed it. But I took pictures in case I had to call someone and be like, hi, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this. So it's this.
What the hell?
Yeah. And so then it had like a rubber bit as well with like 2 flaps, which are obviously to come like, because there's 2 little pipe bits that look like they would go into the flaps. And then I was like, what is going on here? Yeah. And so I Googled it, like just took a picture of it, put in dishwasher. And the only thing I found was someone on Reddit going, okay, that's the thing that goes with the attaches to the spray arms. There's a pipe at the back of the dishwasher. And getting the full like drawer out. Yeah. And like getting in, I'm like, okay. So basically it's this. And there's also a bit on the back of the top rack of the dishwasher. Yeah. That looks like that. So it kind of acts as a bridge between the pipe bit and the drawer bit. Yeah. I don't know how it came off. I've tried to put it together. Yeah. But basically, so I put it in like that. Yeah. But basically, in the Reddit post, they went, "Oh yeah, so it goes on the pipe at the back," and then they were like, "But it will come off every single time you run the dishwasher." And I was like,
"Oh dear."
Sorry, what is this? Some assembly required? I've only had this dishwasher a year. What the hell's going on? This has never happened with my old dishwasher. I'm just going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There we go. I was like, what shit is going on? So I've taken pictures in case I need to like ring my uncle and be like, hi, I need some help. I tried to fix it. I don't know if it's worked. So I've run the dishwasher again. And if it comes off again, I'm gonna like message him tonight with all these pictures and be like, "Could you come around over the weekend, please? I'm sorry, I can't stand this. I've no idea what's going on."
And in the event of an issue, you have to do it manually.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
In the event of an issue, you leave things to build up.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
And
you don't.
if there's anything that's like, I'm not going to get any eco-friendly points here. In the event that nothing can be done, what you do is you use up all of the Chinese takeaway boxes, like food in, and then you like give them a quick rinse around, throw them in the recycling.
Nice.
That's what you do. Not fucking watching anything.
Although, do you remember the dishwasher we had at uni? It was me.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
It was me.
It was you. Yeah. I do not like the sensation of cleaning dishes. Oh, by the way, I'm not actually wearing them. Maybe I should. I might get them when we have a break.
Yes.
But, did I tell you that I really irritated the carpal tunnel?
You didn't mention it, but you did send me a photo of your support.
My wrists and the purple wrist support.
Yeah.
So yeah, I injured that cleaning on Friday and Saturday, and literally Sunday morning and Monday morning I had woken up with this horrific numbness.
Ooh.
And like imagine it waking you up at 5 a.m. It's that bad.
Oh.
Out. And so I'm like having to hold my hand like this.
Oh dear.
Having to like I could only find my like working wrist support and only one of them. So I was like, brilliant. Well,
oh dear.
Lost everything. So I had to order some new ones.
You're falling apart.
Sorry?
I said you're falling apart.
I know.
Me too.
And all since turning 30.
I know, it's a shame, isn't it?
Do you know, in my 20s I was extremely fit. Do you know, for most of my 20s I didn't have any medical problems. I didn't even have asthma.
Aren't you lucky?
I know. For most of my 20s, and then I hit 27 and it's all been downhill since then.
I've been like a poorly, sickly Victorian child since birth.
Yeah.
Hi, Editing Emma here. Just to let you know, the next 3.5 minutes contains discussion of weight, weight loss, and medical weight loss. Please skip forward if you feel that any of these topics would be triggering for you. Thank you.
And they give you like experimental treatments, Sarah. Like, hey, how about these steroids for asthma? Don't worry, they're not going to cause any problems in later life.
No, yeah, I just put on weight from the age of 9 and just carried on going.
Yeah, but like, you know, because you went on that like doctor prescribed thing for your diabetes.
Yeah.
And that hasn't made a difference. So I'm thinking, yeah, the steroids must have fucked you up entirely.
I lost 4 stone and ended up putting it back on, and to add insult to injury, it's left me with a bald patch in the middle of my head.
Yeah. That does suck.
So fun.
It's is the bald patch growing back? Have you spoken to a doctor about it?
No,
but that does happen if you stop eating, because I don't know if this will make it into the episode, if you wanted to make it into the episode, but listeners,
well, you're editing, so it's okay.
Listeners, my God, they put her on an 800 calorie a day diet. Like, that was it, wasn't it? It was 800 calories.
Yeah, for like 3 months, yeah.
Yeah. To be absolutely clear, 1,200 calories is what you need to feed a toddler.
Yeah.
And they expected Sarah to be having 800 calories a day.
And added to that, it was a liquid diet as well.
Yes. But
that couldn't do anything for 3 months.
800 calories is not enough to power your fucking brain.
No.
Like, every time you were like, oh, I'm just taking Dad to work, I was like, oh my God. Just like, my God. I was like, she's gonna pass out.
I did once, actually.
That's terrifying. So.
On my patio outside the back of the house. in the middle of the night. Luckily, I had my phone with me, so I rang my mum, but
Yeah.
that's
No,
fine.
that's absolutely terrifying. And I
Yeah.
don't think there's any reason that they should have put you on 800 calories a day.
No.
Like, even if they were like, let's try and get you to lose a lot of weight, 1,500 calories is
Yeah.
still below the amount that you should be having. Like,
Yeah.
like you need at
Definitely.
least as much to power your fucking brain.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Mental.
So yeah, that's why you've got the bald patch. It's because
Yeah,
lack
because
of
the
calories, so
weight loss, yeah.
your body just turned off some
Yeah.
non-essential things.
See, look. I hide it well.
Yeah.
Thank God for thick hair, is all I'm saying.
When I was editing episode 15, there was a bit where I like when my desk collapsed. Do you remember that? If you don't, you can.
Oh, yeah.
So I put that as a separate clip. But I'm diving down and I'm like, oh my God, I have a bald patch. But I think it's actually just because my hair is quite thin and where it's dark, you can see my scalp through it more easily.
Yeah.
If I think if I dyed my hair blonde, I wouldn't have this problem.
No.
But I can't risk dyeing it blonde until I've gone to the weddings I need to go to.
Yeah.
Because if it goes a weird shade of ginger, I'm not having that at the weddings.
That would be a bit awkward.
It would be.
Just a tad.
So, Sarah, what's been going on in your life?
Well, where do I start? Last weekend, so I get a phone call from my sister. There's been a leak from the bathroom into the kitchen, and all the electrics in the kitchen have gone off. Bear in mind, this is like mid-afternoon, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So she asked me to come get the kids, my nephews, bring them to my house because they were waiting for a plumber to come in and an electrician. So I brought the kids to my house with my dad. Got to about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
The plumber had been.
Yeah.
Found out that whoever had fixed the previous leak had done a dodgy job, and like under the bath, the pipe under the bath, it like broke.
Fantastic.
What an asshole. So anyway, he fixed that, but then they had to wait for electrician coming. So now we got to like past 9 o'clock. The kids need to be in bed. So we ended up deciding that the kids and my sister were going to stay the night at our house. Bear in mind, we don't have space, so they'll have to sleep in the front room. What a fun night that was. So anyway, I goes and picked my sister up.
Fine for you. You were still upstairs in your bed.
I know, true.
So the kids that are on the floor.
We had no space for them, and I didn't want to share with anybody because I'd play squish them if I rolled over, so... Safety first.
To be fair, your bed is extremely small.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like a very small double bed, and I was when I stayed at Sarah's, I stayed in her bedroom, and I was like, this is like my one is the king. No, my bed might be a king size, so I'm like, all the space in the world, and I was like, oh, if I roll over too much, I'm gonna crash onto the floor.
It's the biggest size I could get to fit.
Yeah, I know your room is.
It is very small.
Compared
to the room I had at our last house, it's very small. But you got to deal with what you got to deal with. Anyway, so the kids stayed over. My sister stayed over. So the electrician turned up probably some point before midnight. Not exactly sure, because we only found out the morning after when we spoke to my brother-in-law. Because he stayed at home because he was going to work in the morning anyway. So finally they got it fixed. However, while the electrician did get the electric back on, only 2 sockets are working.
Oh.
So obviously she has to have the fridge plugged in.
Yeah.
Which means she only has 1 socket.
For everything else.
Okay. So if she wants to use the air fryer, she has to unplug the oven. If she wants to use the kettle, she has to unplug something else, yada yada. So that's fun. And they were supposed to come earlier this week to fix it, but they didn't.
That's a fucking nightmare.
So she's chasing that up.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
fun.
Jen.
And I don't know if you've seen in the our notes, but I have put a keyword in there.
Okay. Oh dear.
Can you read it?
I haven't read it.
It's under where you said dishwasher.
Oh. Let me check my text then.
I didn't message you. It's on the screen on the chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it. I was too busy trying to get my NHS referrals. I was too busy trying to get Google Docs into dark mode because I was like, if I have to look at it in regular mode one more time, I'm going to kill someone.
Oh, I always have mine downloaded.
Yeah, but I have it dark mode on the app on my phone.
Yeah.
Because that's built in, but it's not built in.
What the fuck?
Or even, hey, let's do a system default thing on the laptop. I had to install a separate Chrome extension. It really annoyed me.
What the hell?
Like, fucking hell, Google.
Anyway, so, as I mentioned, NHS referrals.
Yes.
So, you know my eldest nephew has a load of appointments.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I think your eldest nephew is responsible for about 1/10 of the NHS budget, I'll be honest.
I know, bless him.
I know.
So I don't know if I mentioned before, but...
Guy.
I know. So I don't even mention before he has severe sight impairment. So he's blind in one eye and very limited vision in the other. So he's had several appointments for different things in relation to other illnesses and other conditions. Tell me why that people in the NHS who are like referring each other for him
don't talk to each other?
They don't talk to each other. No. And they haven't and you'd think that in a referral for, say, example, speech and language or an autism assessment, that they'd put a note in there that did have a sight impairment.
Yeah.
Like, tell me why he's turned up to 2 appointments within the last 3 months and they've been unable to do most of the assessment because they weren't aware that he couldn't see properly.
Why is that not on his medical records?
It is, but it wasn't mentioned in referral letters.
But, like, that should automatically flag up.
I know.
Like, I get annoyed enough when I'm going to the opticians, and because I have nystagmus, every time you do the initial test with someone that's not an optician, like, they're not actually the doctor, my eyes are shaking while doing the test. This person freaks out immediately because they're like, holy shit, oh my god, she's having some sort of stroke. There's a bleed on her brain. And they like go, okay, I'll be right back. And they run off without telling me anything. So I'm often sitting there going, what the fuck just happened? And then the optician comes in, reruns the same test, and then goes, do you have nystagmus? Yeah. Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, sorry. I just assumed that considering I've had it since birth, it would be on my records. Like, maybe it's a flag at the opticians. By the way, she has this eye problem. Whatever.
Crazy.
So, I am also very annoyed about that, Sarah, and I can't believe that they don't have it as an automatic flag.
I know.
Like, if you were deaf and you needed someone who did BSL, or you needed a translator because you didn't speak English as a first language, that should be an automatic flag. Like, okay, they use a wheelchair, so they need downstairs appointments. Why can you not set that up as an automatic flag? Why is the NHS run on Microsoft 95 with all fucking floppy disks? Do you know that's not even a joke? A lot of our emergency services run on computers from the 80s with, like, floppy disks. Like, you were thinking...
Remember those? They were fun.
Yeah, but I'm like, sorry, what do you mean? The entire emergency services are being held up by the security of Windows 95.
Yeah. It's
My
mental.
computer gives me updates like we've run out of Windows 10, upgrade to Windows 11, pay us money.
Yeah.
But the healthcare service is just running on... God.
Fucking fresh air and prayers, I think.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, does that not make them more susceptible to ransomware attacks? I don't know enough about this, but if Wes Streeting could stop demonizing trans people for a minute and just kind of focus on that, be cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wes.
Thanks. Mental. But you think for assessments that require like visual aids,
yes,
that they should know to like either they make it clear to people who are referring people to them that if they have somebody with a sight impairment to mention it in the referral, or just have a system where it automatically flags up that there's an issue.
Yeah, like,
but no,
hell, the audio app flags up if you use the word bank in a message or like delivery, even if you're actually messaging someone going, oh, I'm going to deliver the remaining food to a food bank. It flags up an automatic message. Why the hell is Olio more advanced than the NHS?
Exactly. Mental. It's good. Like I went to one of the appointments and she had like a load of visual aids. And there was one, it was literally like, do you know like Where's Wally?
Yeah.
And it was like that. And you can imagine how busy like the thingy was.
Yeah. So quite hard for him to see.
It's like she got it out and then she went, oh, he's not going to be able to do this one. No shit. I swear every time I walk into an appointment now and they see his key and they just go, oh shit.
I think maybe in future, when like someone rings for the appointment and like, oh, can you do Tuesday? Yes, but just so you know, can you write it down in big bold letters? He can't see. Just get him a t-shirt which goes, yes, I am blind. And just have him wear that to all his hospital appointments.
I know.
And then if he ever goes missing in the hospital, you can be like, yeah, he's wearing a t-shirt that says, yes, I'm blind.
Yeah.
Good fucking God.
Bless him. So yeah, that's my rant of the week.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. You well deserve to have that rant.
Yeah. I just feel sorry for my sister.
Yeah.
She's having to take him all these places. He's having time off school.
Yes. She's got to do like, loads of rearranging of her day.
Yeah.
Take him to appointments. And then they're like, oh, we can't do the assessment.
Yeah. It's just mental.
Also, why do they not... So, the statistics are, if you have one disability, you are more likely to have another disability.
Yeah.
The statistics bear out that if you've got one disability, you're more likely to have another.
Yeah.
Why do they not have autism assessments that they can do for people with visual problems?
Yeah.
Like, sorry, pick one, blind or autistic.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
So anyway, fuck Wes Streeting.
Yes.
It's not all his fault, but he has annoyed me, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to blame him anyway. It's like when Robert Jenrick started during the pandemic. For some reason, Robert Jenrick, along with Matt Hancock, was sending out those letters being like, please stay indoors. Here's the latest information. It would come out with a letter. And I was like, what the fuck is Robert Jenrick doing here? And literally, I'd never heard of him before he was housing in local communities.
Nice.
Oh, crap, what is it? Minister. Before he was the housing and community minister, I'd never heard of him. I was just like, fucking Robert Jenrick. And my hatred of him has been extremely well placed over the last year.
Beautiful.
I hated Robert Jenrick before it was cool.
Nice.
We'll be back with the episode recap after this short break. Welcome back, and now we're on to the episode recap. Sarah, wheels up.
Wheels up. So this episode opens on the scene of a family in a town called Allende del Sol in Mexico. and they're celebrating the Day of the Dead and honouring their ancestors.
Oh, sorry, could I just point something out here? The Day of the Dead is in, like, I think it's actually the 31st of October, 1st of November.
Yeah.
When did this episode air, Sarah?
April.
Yeah. Odd that they're celebrating the Day of the Dead in April. What the hell is this? What's wrong with you guys?
Crazy woman.
No one could Google when the Day of the Dead was in Mexico?
Yeah. So there's a grandmother speaking in Spanish to her granddaughter and asking whether the skeleton that she's made is a boy or a girl. Thank God for subtitles, because I had no clue what she was saying.
Yeah. Actually, really funny thing. For a few seconds, I thought I'd, like, put closed captioning on, and it didn't even occur to me that it was in Spanish, and that's why it was there, because normally I accidentally switch it on and it annoys me. And I was like, what the hell have I done here? And I was like, oh, it's in Spanish. That's why you can't turn it off. Idiot. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we're British people who don't learn a second language because we're lazy.
Yeah. That's
and we try, but we're rubbish.
We try, but have you heard of colonialism?
Yeah. We were around then, so. Anyways, moving swiftly on.
Why are you always like, right, God, better get off them as political rant? I'm gonna.
Is your serious face is making me laugh?
I'm gonna edit this, and I'm gonna just read 10 minutes of me talking to camera about the British Empire. No, that would be really boring.
Right. So the young girl smiles as the grandmother chuckles, and the young girl runs into the arms of her mum. A guy then appears with a bottle in his hand, visibly intoxicated. He's staggering all over the place. The older members of the family don't seem very happy to see him. And there's another male standing just up like a little bit of a hill. He's next to a car overlooking the scene. The man drinking enters the house, and an older male follows, along with the grandmother. So the younger male, as we discover, is called Miguel. The older male is his uncle Diego, and he tells Miguel that he's not welcome there. The older woman tries to calm down the situation and tells Diego to leave him alone. Miguel argues with Diego and says that the house belongs to his mother, the older woman, who we later find out is called Lupe. Noticing that his mother won't stand up for him, Miguel leaves, stumbling out of the house. A younger woman, presumably his sister, follows him and tries to tell him that his mum does love him, but he's not convinced. Upset, he goes to leave and says that he'll return later to collect his items and his belongings. The guy standing near the car is watching everything unfold. Lupe notices him and she looks angry. Later, Lupe is inside her house and she's crying when she hears a knock at the door. There's a slight flash forward and the visitors entered, and Lupe serves them a drink. She seems happy in their presence, conversing with them naturally. She seems to know them very well. You don't actually see the visitor, you just see her interacting with somebody. She steps out of the room briefly, and when she returns, she's startled and knocked to the ground. When she comes round, she rubs her face and sees a visitor grab a knife from the kitchen. And you can see the hand that is wrapped in what looks like a towel. Lupe screams and tries to crawl away from the knife-wielding visitor, who follows her down the hallway into a room. As the door shuts, it transitions to a door in Hotch's house. And here's Hotch carrying baby Jack down the stairs. He's so cute. Poor Jack's crying. Bless him. His wife Haley and her sister Jessica surprise him with a banner saying "Happy Birthday, Daddy," and they giggle as he spots it. A phone rings. Hotch asks Haley to get it, while Jess jokes that Hotch is holding Jack like a cantaloupe. He hands Jack over to her, and Jack immediately stops crying. Hotch doesn't look impressed.
Aww.
But then again, I suppose the amount of time he's away from the family, poor little Jack hasn't got used to his dad yet.
Yeah, probably.
Bless him. Why is there a big black line there?
What? In the dark?
Yeah.
Let me wait. Just a second.
Can you see on yours or just mine?
I don't know because mine's in dark mode. I'm just trying to see. If I highlight things, blah blah. That is odd. Yeah, I can see it if I've highlighted it.
I don't know if there was anything there. It's just weird.
No. Okay. Well, let me try. Delete it. Don't know. Can't see it anymore, can you?
No, it's
Okay,
gone.
go ahead then.
Alright, moving swiftly on. So Haley returned to the room after answering the phone, and she hands the phone to Hot, telling him it's your wife. Turns out it's his work wife, Gideon.
Oh.
Gideon says he knows it's Hotch's weekend off, but they've received a new call.
They have other BAU teams. They mention this several times throughout the course of the season, throughout the seasons, that they have other BAU teams. They should have just been like, we'll ask one of the others.
Yeah.
Or handle it yourself, Gideon.
Yeah.
Aren't you team leader?
Just because you're alone and you don't have close family doesn't mean that everyone else has to follow you.
Yeah. Don't mess up Hotch's life, Gideon. God.
Yeah, Gideon. So Haley and Jess are chatting whilst Hotch is on the phone. Haley comments that with Jess coming over, it's been so much easier to get Hotch to take time off. And shit's about to hit the fan. Hotch enters the room very sour-faced. He doesn't say a word, but Haley knows exactly what's happened.
Yeah.
He's been called in.
And she just looks like, of course. Like, she doesn't even look, like, really surprised or disappointed.
No, it's
she
just
looks like, yeah,
here we go.
Expecting this.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll take the baby. Goodbye.
He promises he'll only be gone for a few hours, and she shows him she's not mad. But as we later find out, he's not gone for a couple of hours. So, good luck with that, Hotch. At the BAU headquarters, JJ is giving details of the latest case. A murder has occurred in the Mexican town of Allende del Sol. Population 20,000. The victim is 62-year-old Lupe Trejo. She was found in her home, stabbed in the face, chest, and genitals. Newspapers in Mexico have connected her murder to 11 others in the past 2 years, all elderly women. They suspect it's the work of a serial killer. Gideon says that the Mexican government disagrees with this theory, presumably because the income of the town comes from tourism and the factories that make the items that the tourists buy. The murders have happened in the poorer neighbourhoods of the town. As Hotch says, serial killers make lousy tourist attractions.
I don't know, Hotch. It's 2026, and I think they might actually not be that bad for tourism. Like, I think there are a lot of people.
Nowadays,
like, you know how they have, like, CrimeCon and stuff, and now, I think 2026, there would be, like, 15 podcasters heading to the town.
Oh, yeah.
Being like, let me report on this.
Yeah.
Okay, babe, do you have any journalism training? Do you know what you're doing, or are you just gonna trample all over a lot of evidence? just wanna ask.
Yeah. Like, it's funny how, like, today it's, like, very mainstream, like, to be, like, interested in true crime.
Yeah.
Like, 20 years ago, it was a very niche.
Oh, yeah, because I remember, like, when I was, like, 16, 17, my neighbour had asked me to look after their cat, and I was staying there for the week because their cat was kind of elderly and they didn't want the cat to be alone at night, so they were like, can you just stay over at our house?
Yeah.
And so I was using their computer late at night to look up true crime things, and I was like, oh my god, like, on Wikipedia, and I was like, I must be such a weirdo. Like, no one else is ever looking up stuff like this. And it's like, oh, actually, a lot of people are. They just don't publicly talk about it.
Yeah. crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Anyway, I've probably scarred myself by looking that all up at like 16, 17.
True.
Fucking terrifying.
But then again, my sister did the same, and she's like obsessed with true crime stuff. Like, she's been to like museums where they have like.
Oh, I went to. Wait, what museums has Jen been to?
The only one that I know recently within the last couple of years is in Gloucester.
Yeah.
There's a little village called Little Dean or something.
Okay.
And it's like the Little Dean jail it used to be.
All
And
right.
it's like a museum.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
I went to, I think, the Museum of Death in Los Angeles last year.
Very nice.
Yeah, Museum of Death.
Ooh.
By the way, actually, that was something that we went to, and I was like I was beginning to be like my friend really enjoyed it, but I was like, there was pictures that showed like they were so someone had taken pictures while committing the murder and then like necrophilia of the body. And like they had those pictures and I was like, oh, I kind of didn't expect this. Like I expected them to perhaps be like, and this is Jack the Ripper, and something about like how, you know, Ed Gein had inspired Leatherface, and then they would have like a clip of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see fucking photographs of someone committing necrophilia. So, just a warning, because I was like, oh no, why? Nothing like that could freak me out. I listen to a lot of true crime. I watch a lot of horror. I watch a lot of crime shows.
Well, then when you face with actual pictures.
Yeah. I just didn't expect actual pictures of an actual dead body being sexually assaulted, you know?
Yeah. Because like, in a lot of stuff, like, you remove from it. It's like in podcasts and stuff, you remove from the situation, so you don't really understand fully, kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's the sort of thing where talking about it is very different to seeing photos.
Yeah, because like, when you talk about it, it's just a story, isn't it?
Yeah, and even seeing like pictures of Ted Bundy in court or something like that, that's not exactly the sort. And like seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it would be very different if they were suddenly like, and here are some pictures of the stuff we found in Ed Gein's house. Yeah. By the way, don't Google it. Don't.
No. So Elle asked why they've been called to assist if the government doesn't think that there's a serial killer. Excuse me. JJ says the Mexican authorities already have a suspect in custody, the victim's son, Miguel. And the government just wants them to confirm that it's just a one-time killing. Morgan says, so we're going all the way down there just to prove they don't have a serial killer. Gideon replies, maybe, or we're going down there to tell them if what I've read in the Mexican papers is true. They've got one of the worst serial killers the country's ever seen.
Also, why are you doing it? FBI is domestic.
Yeah.
Do you have enough crimes to solve in America? Yeah. I get it. They're the serial killer experts.
Yeah.
Mexico doesn't have a serial killer expert. No.
So off they go internationally. As the team leaves the room to head on their trip to Mexico, Hotch hesitates and fumbles with his phone. Gideon tells him to call from the car. And in that scene, you can just see Hotch, like, in his mind going, I promised I'll be home. But no, I gotta go here. Like, she's gonna kill him.
The thing is, he's got a really important job. It's not like he manages a shoe store and they're like, can you come in on your birthday, please? We're really understaffed.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's sort of, I imagine, very hard for Haley to be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm going to stop my elderly women from being murdered. Sorry.
Yeah. And it's like would you say niche jobs? Like not many people do it, so
Not many people have the skills to do it either.
yeah, so they're limited on who can and can't do it. And
yeah, like anyone can do my goddamn job.
Yeah.
Like if someone messaged me on my birthday and was like, "Hey, can you just marketing article?" I'd be like, "No, absolutely not. Goodbye. I'm not doing anything for 15 quid an hour."
No.
On my birthday. Go away.
No. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So at this point, we get the opening credits. And we get the jet scene with an opening bookend quote done by Hotch. He says, Anthony Brandt wrote, "Other things may change us, but we start and end with family." Inside the jet, Hotch looks sad and heartbroken that he's had to break the news to his wife that he wouldn't be home as promised, and instead has had to travel to Mexico with the team. JJ tries to cheer him up, saying, "At least you get to spend your birthday weekend in Mexico." Hotch says, "Yeah, what's doghouse in Spanish?" He's in it when he gets back.
Oh, sorry, what do you think he's going to be able to do for his birthday, JJ? Hey, at least you get to spend your birthday in Mexico. Yeah, I'm hunting a serial killer and learning about how elderly women were murdered. It's not like we can then pivot and go to Cancun.
Bless him. Poor Hotch. So after Hotch's comment about what's doghouse in Spanish, Reed tries to say it in broken Spanish with a heavy American accent. To which Elle corrects him in fluent Spanish and then tells him, "Face it, Chico, you're only a genius in English."
Oh my goodness.
Bless him. He tried.
Oh yeah, not about Spencer. Hearing Elle speak in Spanish. It's like,
I know.
Hi.
Bilingual queen.
Just like, ooh, hiya. Continue speaking. Shut up, Spencer.
Morgan seems surprised that Elle is fluent in Spanish and asks her, "Since when?" She replies, "I'm full of hidden mysteries." JJ asks why there's so few serial killers in Mexico. Hodge tells her that they do probably have just as much as the US, but very few cases are documented. JJ asks why. Gideon then informs her that it's the Chikatilo syndrome. Reed then talks about Andrei Chikatilo, who was one of the most prolific serial killers of the 20th century. He lived in then Soviet-controlled Ukraine, where people thought serial killers were only an American phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
He killed over 50 people by the time he was found. Hey.
Yeah, that's still a big problem today, actually.
Yeah.
For, places in the East and in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
I think of serial killers as a unique experience to America and more broadly the West. Like, it's family breakdown, it's blah, 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 that causes the serial killers. And it's like, I think people are just fucked up everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think you have less serial killers because you've managed to maintain control of the nuclear family.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
And it's at this point we get Gideon's imitation of a Russian accent that I'm not going to attempt. And he says, "Inevitable result of decadent capitalism." JJ asks about the cultural bias in Mexico, and Hodge explains that many Mexicans believe serial killers result from family breakdowns. So an alienating loner equals serial killer. Reed states a fact about there being 12 times as many broken families in the US than in Mexico. And he pronounces Mexico in the Spanish way.
Oh, no.
And looks back at Elle for acknowledgement. It's so cute.
Okay, baby.
But yeah, I did it. He's like a toddler. He's so cute.
Yeah, I know.
He's adorable. JJ asks if it's possible that there are actually fewer serial killers in Mexico, but Gideon replies that evil is a human phenomenon rather than a cultural one. In the next scene, there's stock footage of life in Mexico, people walking around the streets, before a few police cars roll up to the local police station and the team exit the cars. Captain Navarro greets Gideon, and it appears he's met him before. Captain Navarro comments on Gideon's height, saying that he's shorter than he remembers. At this point, the captain introduces Lieutenant Borges, and Gideon introduces his team, and informs them that Captain Navarro has been put in charge by the District Attorney General. Morgan asks how Gideon and the captain know each other. Gideon says they met at a seminar that he gave in Mexico City a few years back. Recalling the title of the talk, the captain says sexual homicide in Latin America. And he references reading about it in Max Ryan's book. And if that name sounds familiar, yes, we have met him before in a previous episode.
We covered him in episode 15, actually.
We did.
Yes.
And funny enough, Gideon says that that's where he got the title from. The seminar from Max's book.
Mm-hmm.
The captain said he's glad Gideon came, but wasn't sure if Gideon actually liked him, as he'd previously told him his profiling technique wouldn't translate well in Latin culture without fully understanding cultural values.
I mean, that is true.
Yeah. True. JJ has to meet some local police and get a handle on the media attention. The captain agrees and asks if they want to rest first, but Gideon's like, no, we're ready. And it looks like the team don't going to say that because he didn't ask them.
Why would Gideon ask the team about anything? I mean, you drag someone in on their day off because you can't do the case without them, and then you allow them absolutely no input into whether or not the team's ready to go.
Yeah. Travelling in police cars to the crime scene, Elle talks to the captain in Spanish, asking what he thought Gideon got wrong about their culture. The captain starts to answer in Spanish, but Gideon's like, English, por favor, English. He's such a tourist.
Yeah.
Impatient. The captain switches to English and explains Gideon's technique doesn't take into account two powerful influences in Mexican culture, which are family and machismo, which is a profound sense of masculine pride. He says he was put in charge by the Attorney General when she found out that he knew Gideon, so that Gideon and his team could help settle the mess. Gideon says to him, you are aware that we may not be giving you the answer you're looking for on this one. The captain then asks if they think what the papers are saying is right. Elle asks what the papers are saying. He passes her a newspaper and she reads the Spanish and then translates it into Indian.
English.
Try again.
Suddenly, Elle can speak Hindi. Hindi. And she's just like speaking in a third language that no one understands.
Next, she's going to rock out some Korean and Japanese.
Excellent. I'm so glad we're, where in the world is Elle Greenaway?
I know, yeah.
Oh, God.
Try that again. She reads the Spanish and translates it to English for Gideon and Hodge. She says, there's a serial assassin who is killing elderly women in local towns, and the Attorney General and the authorities are moving slowly. The cars then arrive at the location. Morgan looks around at a graveyard full of bright, colourful flowers and asks what's going on. The police officer escorting him says, Dia de los Muertos. Reed then continues saying it's Day of the Dead, a 3-day Latin holiday where souls of dead relatives are said to return to Earth to enjoy the pleasures that they once knew of. The police officer then talks to Morgan and says, he sounds like he was reading that out of a book. To which Morgan replies, trust me, he always sounds like that. And then Reed pipes up from the back saying, actually, I was reading. I picked this pamphlet up at the airport.
That's so funny.
It's so cute. Just randomly is like, and then reading it.
I am actually reading it. Fuck you. But yeah, I've just Googled Day of the Dead. takes place traditionally celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, though other days such as October 31st or November 6th may be included.
Yeah.
None of this is in April.
No. So obviously the timing of the release of the episodes doesn't equate to times of the year.
Yeah, but it really should, because typically these guys put in, like, not perhaps Criminal Minds, but they run September through June, and they're normally like, right, this is our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go to a whole other country, maybe just at least make sure that the episode is taking place at the right time for that.
Yeah. Crazy. So Gideon, Hodge, Elle, and Captain Navarro turn up. Locals are watching as they exit the car, and the captain says he thought they'd want to see the crime scene first before meeting the suspect. Gideon smiles and says, "You remembered something from my lecture, huh?" The captain replies, "Actually, I got it from your mentor, Max Ryan. His book is a great read." The captain then explains the victim, Lupe, was found in the bedroom by her daughter. Hodge spots a large number of people in the area and asks if there's usually this many people around at this time. The captain says not usually, the church service had just ended, so they're walking home from the town square. Gideon then asks what time Lupe was killed. The captain guesses sometime during evening mass when there were a few people about. Otherwise, somebody would have seen the unsub. Hodge says unless he blended right in. The captain and the team head into the house, and Gideon notes there was no forced entry and says it means one of two things. Morgan suggests it was a push-in, that the unsub forced themselves in, holding a gun or a knife to the victim. The captain then states the murder weapon, which was a knife, was taken from the kitchen and placed at the scene where she was found. Hodge then deduces that the second reason is more likely, that she let her killer in voluntarily. Gideon questions what happened once the unsub was inside. Reed spots drinking glasses on the table, and it seems that the unsub and the victim had a drink together. He asks the captain if they've run a DNA analysis on the glasses. And then the captain says that the closest thing that they have to a crime scene unit is Detective Hernandez, who has a fingerprinting kit from 1984.
Oh.
Random.
That is
effective, but a bit dated.
Yeah, I am like, maybe the government should be giving more to the police, or the police should be spending their budget better.
Yeah. Crazy. Surprised at this revealment, Reed asks if he's found anything. The captain says that the victim's fingerprints were on one glass, but the prints on the other were too smudged to make a match. But he doesn't think that the unsub drank from it. He explains that the drink is tamarind water, which is a sweet drink that usually women in the area drink. He says most men would have a shot of tequila at night or a beer. Hodge questions if Captain Navarro doesn't think a woman could have done this. Captain Navarro asks him if he thinks that they might have, but Hodge says it's probably unlikely. Reed then suggests giving the glasses to the FBI to see if they can find out who was drinking. Gideon asks where Lupe was killed, and Captain Navarro takes him to the room, and the men enter a bedroom where we see a heavily blood-stained sheet on the bed. Gideon looks around, putting gloves on before he starts going through drawers. The captain asks what he's looking for. Gideon replies that he's looking for why the unsub chose this victim and why she felt safe enough to let them inside. In the drawer, he finds a photo of Miguel and asks if it's her son. The captain confirms. Seeing photos of other family members on display on a shelf, but Miguel's been hidden, he deduces that Lupe had some sort of problem with him. In another room, the daughter's bedroom, Elle and Morgan are looking through belongings. There's a jewellery box open on the bed. Morgan says the unsub took jewellery from it, but asks Elle if she thinks he did it before or after Lupe was killed. Elle thinks it was after, as she says the way the victim was stabbed means that this was a sexual homicide. Morgan replies, when the killer's looking for a sexual release, the items taken are usually an afterthought, trophies. He questions why jewellery was left on the victim though. Elle says it's a common sign of remorse. Exiting the house, Gideon tells the captain that he's almost certainly looking for a heterosexual male. He explains the fact that the victim was found on the bed with stab wounds to the face, chest, and genitals indicate sexual homicide. So the killer targets objects of his or her sexual attraction. Hotch says heterosexual men attack women. And then the captain questions, so homosexual men attack men? Hotch asks if the daughter had any ideas on who might have done this. The captain says that she didn't have any ideas about anything. She just wanted to talk to her brother alone when she discovered he was a suspect. But the interaction between them was refused so that they wouldn't collude on a story. The sister hasn't spoken since, so it makes them question what secret she protected. Hotch says they're ready to talk to the suspect now, but first, the captain wants them to meet someone. When the team arrive at the police station, they meet Maria Sanchez, the district attorney general. Maria greets them all by name and says that she saw the wisdom when the captain invited them down to dispel the nonsense that the papers were printing. She seems very forceful and intimidating, and Gideon looks very confused about the interaction as she leaves. Captain tells him that she's wished in Spanish. In the PD bullpen, the captain explains how neighbours heard a loud fight on the day of the murder between the victim, her daughter, her son Miguel, and her brother-in-law Diego. Police found Diego had a solid alibi, but they couldn't find Miguel. They then got a tip that he'd hired a coyote to take him over the border, but he was apprehended before he could cross. The captain motions across the room to a woman sitting down. He tells the team that it's Miguel's sister Rosa, and that she's been there since his arrest. Gideon and Hotch are then taken to meet Miguel, and once in his cell, Hotch asks him about the fight with his mother. Miguel is adamant that he didn't hurt her. Hotch then asks if it had anything to do with him leaving. Miguel said that she didn't want him to go and she was very angry. Gideon sits beside him, trying to get him to open up more. He says to him, "You had problems with your mother for a long time. What is it you're hiding? What truth could be so terrible that you won't defend yourself against killing your mother? What truth would have your mother hiding your photographs in her drawer? When did you first know?" And then Miguel's like, "Know what?" Gideon replies that you're a homosexual. More to the point, when did your mother find out? Miguel replies,
point, Gideon, what the fuck are you doing outing someone?
I know.
Like, this is 2005. It's barely been legal. No, this is 2006. It's barely been legal 3 years for you to be gay in every fucking state of the US. And you're just going to a country that you know that has, like, worse treatment of queer people and just outing someone in a police station. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm so fucking disappointed.
Yeah. So as Gideon outs him, Miguel replies something in Spanish, and Hotch and the captain look dejected. So I'm guessing it's some lines of he's not talking or it's none of the business. So then in the next scene in Captain's office, the captain seems angry, and that's how Gideon knew. Hotch says, "You told us. Machismo and family. You knew he was gay." The captain says to Hotch, "You're a better profiler than Gideon's a lecturer." Hotch points out that the captain asked about the sexuality of the killer because he knew that a gay man couldn't have committed the crime.
Mm-hmm.
The captain argues that Hotch doesn't understand how things work in Mexico. If he'd told the Attorney General that Miguel is innocent because he's gay, she would have laughed in his face. Angrily, Hotch asks why they were lied to. The captain says that he had to play along with the official line until he could trust the team that they would come to the same conclusion. Hotch replies, "So we're here to serve as pawns in your political game?" The captain says, "There's a very bad man killing women in my district, and I have known this for a very long time. And so far, no one will believe me or help me stop him."
This poor guy, he's just asking for help, and Hotch is like, "You fucking wasted our time, didn't you?"
Yeah.
Like, he's saying that no one's listening to him, and he wants someone else to confirm.
Yeah.
To stop the murders, and you were just like, well, maybe Hotch, you should have just said, actually, send the other team. I'm still on my break. Like, if you don't want to go on your birthday, it's fair enough. But don't go on your birthday and then treat everyone like shit while you're there.
No. Crazy. The captain says that if he has to play politics to protect the women in the city, it's just a very small price to pay. In the next scene, Gideon and JJ are talking to the captain, telling him that the best way to get the Attorney General on board is providing a complete profile. Morgan says they need files on all the murders as a start, but then the captain informs him that the reports are missing some of the most basic details. Hotch is adamant that they need the full story from Miguel, but he's not talking. Obviously, there's anger in the family, so they need to rule out that it's a crime of passion before they can give a full profile. Morgan asks why Miguel won't talk even though he's innocent. The captain says that it's to do with him being gay. In a prison in Mexico City, he'd be killed if other inmates find out. Yeah. In the next scene, Rose has been interviewed by the captain with Ellen Gideon observing. They want to know more about the fight at her mother's house, and Gideon encourages her to help her brother. Elle does the same, but in Spanish. Rosa mentioned Miguel's friend Roberto, who was the man seen near the car at the beginning of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
She explains he was waiting for Miguel and witnessed the fight, but she doesn't think Miguel saw him there. She didn't mention this before. She didn't want to be the one to out Miguel. She was trying to protect him, and she doesn't want to lose him too, as she's already lost her mum. After the interview, Elle is convinced that Rose is still hiding something. Gideon posits that the way she spoke of shame, it seemed that she was talking about herself. Looking through a file, Captain Navarro notices that Roberto previously had a wife. The team suggests that if he's bisexual, he is capable of sexual homicide to a woman. The captain says that he had motive too, as Lupe didn't approve his relationship with Miguel. So they really need to find him to find out what's going on. In the next scene, they're outside near a taxi rank. There's Gideon, Morgan and the captain, and they're waiting for Roberto to arrive. Roberto claims he would never hurt Miguel's mother. She was trying to accept them, but her brother-in-law Diego made her feel bad for it. He says, people like him make it impossible for us. They'll never accept us. Morgan asks what he was doing at the house. Roberto explains that he and Miguel had a fight earlier that day. Miguel was upset and got drunk before heading to his family's home for the Day of the Dead celebrations. But Roberto was worried for him and trouble that he might cause with his uncle, so he followed him. Gideon asks what he saw there. Initially, he defends Miguel straight away, but Gideon redirects him to find out what he actually saw in that area. Roberto mentions seeing a woman he thought was a social worker going house to house. A heavy-set woman aged between 40 and 50. The captain explains it's common for social workers and nurses to help out elderly women in the area. Morgan reckons that Lupe might have invited the social worker in. She might have seen her before, or she was used to people like the social workers coming and visiting her. In the PD bullpen, Morgan is convinced that Roberto isn't the unsub. Gideon orders to check out his alibi and runs his prints against any found at the scene to rule him out officially. Gideon's also confident that they can rule out the family fight as motive for Lupe's murder. An officer informs them that there's a call from the FBI and puts it on speakerphone. And it turns out it's our computer whiz, Queen Garcia, as the camera cuts to her in her office, appearing to be reading from a Spanish educational book. She says, "Donde está, my lovelies?" The camera cuts to Morgan as Garcia is still heard speaking in broken Spanish. And the Mexican cops look pissed off. Morgan tells her to take it easy, saying, "I think you just offended someone's mother."
Jesus, Garcia.
I know. And then she replies, "Shut up you, I took French, what can I say?" Me too, Garcia, actually. I got a B in my GCSE exams with it too. I can't remember the word of it now, but yeah. I don't think they even offered Spanish at our school.
They didn't at my school, but I know other people that did Spanish at GCSE. I think it just depends. It's a crapshoot. I never heard of anyone doing Italian at GCSE though.
No.
French and German are definitely the two main ones.
Oh yeah. Although I think after I left, they did bring in Spanish to my high school, which was mildly frustrating. But hey, anyway, you know the high school down the road, the one where Danny Jones went to.
Yeah.
They had Latin as an option.
Of course they did. It's a fucking church school. It's a fucking Catholic school. Of course they had Latin as a fucking elective.
Hey, crazy. Anyways.
You probably needed that to follow every other class. Sorry.
Back to Morgan and Garcia's interaction. Morgan says to Penelope, your last name is Garcia. Garcia replies, yeah, I know. It's my stepfather's name. Now, do you want my genius or not? Then Elle butts in and says, yes, please, get on with it.
Morgan, Garcia, we don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Poor Elle. She's like the only one that's like fully focused on the job at any time.
Like, come on, we're on the clock. Hurry up.
Sorry, guys. I would be fine if you were like doing a little bit of flirty banter and we just worked at McDonald's. Like, who cares if someone gets their burger a little late? But there are women dying, if we don't mind.
Crazy.
What Elle?
So Garcia then informs them that she's rushed the DNA testing on the drinking glasses. And the result is there was one female drinker and one male. The captain says it's strange for a male to take that drink. To which Reed says, unless the victim thought he was a woman. He references the social worker that Roberto saw, saying it's a common ruse for old lady killers. The captain states that he explains why no witnesses have come forward, as no one expects the killer to be a woman. Morgan says they need to inform the public, as Gideon alludes that the profile is ready. In the next scene, the team are giving the profile to the cops. So the unsub may be a man who wears women's clothing as a ruse to enter the homes. Once inside, the unsub stabs his victims and abuses them sexually with a knife. He hasn't always been a killer, he gradually escalated from sex crimes. Morgan says that when the unsub couldn't rape anymore, he killed women that he blamed for his impotence, like mothers and grandmothers. No connection has been found between the victims so far, however. But Hodge believes the murders are planned and the unsub has been committing sex crimes for a number of years prior. The team also gives an age range of the unsub, between the ages of 35 and 50. Gideon advises the captain to talk to all known sex offenders and compare them to the profile. Hodge suggests re-interviewing all witnesses to see if anyone saw the social worker. The captain returns from having briefly stepped away to inform the team that another body has been found. At the new crime scene, the captain reveals that the latest victim is Isabel Santiago, aged 67. The camera shows Isabel dead on a chair covered in blood. Elle crouches down to inspect the body. The captain relays notes that there was no sign of forced entry, there were stab wounds to the chest and genitals, and Elle points out that there's abrasions on her neck and finds beads from a necklace near the wounds. She's confused about the jewelry being taken from the body because it doesn't fit the previous MO. Morgan questions why this one's different. Outside the house, family members are comforting one another. As the team exits the house, the captain informs them that there's been an average of one killing every 9 weeks for the past 2 years. But now there's been 2 in 3 days. Morgan notices the victim's daughter and thinks she can tell them something about the necklace. Elle asks her in Spanish if they can ask some questions. She then switches to English and Elle tells her about the necklace and that it was taken and asks if there's any special significance with the necklace. Mm-hmm. Tearfully, the daughter, Anna, explains that her mother gave her the necklace for her birthday, but her mum wanted to borrow it for the holidays. Hodge then whispers in Morgan's ear that there's a disturbance back at the police station, so he's going to go out So he's going to head back with the captain to find out what's going on. Okay. Back at the station, there's several people on the balcony above the entrance, hollering and arguing. On the ground, cops are taking a number of suspects into custody. The captain asked Detective Borquez what's going on. The detective smiles and says that the cops are following the orders of the FBI by bringing in sex criminals. Hodge says that the cops were told the unsub dresses in women's clothing, but this isn't what they meant. The Attorney General then turns up, absolutely fuming. These men were supposed to put the serial killer rumours to rest, and now they're making us look like a joke. What do you want people to think of us? And this bitch couldn't give a shit.
You're the one that just started rounding up all of the queer people in town when they fucking told you it was a heterosexual male.
Yeah.
So, do you know who are not heterosexual males?
Yeah.
Queer people.
Yes.
You literally, there is...
And breathe.
Excuse me. It's time for this. Dumb.
Yes.
Dumb as fuck.
Now, this interaction with the Attorney General, this bitch could not give a shit about actually finding the killer.
Oh, no.
She just wants to protect her own reputation.
Yeah, why find a killer when you could just demonize queer people?
Yeah. So at this point, we get weird jumpy shots of outside the police station, creating more tension. The camera then pans down to the team on the ground floor courtyard on a tilted angle before suddenly it rights itself. The captain's defending his men, highlighting that they're frustrated the media is portraying them in a bad light, so they're desperate to prove themselves. Hodge argues that... I forgot where I was up to. Hodge argues that they had said that Unsub might wear women's clothing, but they didn't mean round up all the cross-dressers in town and bring them in. I won't use the term that he actually said because...
Yes, he did use an outdated term.
Severely outdated.
I'd argue even perhaps outdated for 2006.
Yeah. You would have heard it more probably, 70s, 80s?
Yeah, it's something that if you were watching the series Pose, you would see people use. Martha P. Johnson, I think, used it about herself, and maybe Sylvia Rivera.
And it would have been referenced in...
as well.
Yeah, it was referenced in Rocky Horror Picture Show as well.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, don't fucking use that. Fucking straight cis men deciding, hey, let's... Because it's not... Well, it's not the T slur, but it is a T slur.
Yeah, it's one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't, you can watch the episode.
Yes, because we ain't saying that.
Yeah, fuck no.
Hell no. Hell no, no. He explains that they're looking into the Unsub's past, and that's why they asked for people who had previously committed sex crimes. He asks if police are still looking into it. The captain asks how, as most rapes aren't even reported and many women don't want to talk. Elle tells him that she specialised in sex crimes previously, and obviously she speaks Spanish, so the team can help and teach interview strategies.
Can I just interrupt while you're having trouble pronouncing things?
Yes.
Right. So that is the problem with a blanket thing about sex crimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what has historically been considered a sex crime?
Yeah.
Having consensual sex with an adult who is of the same gender as you.
Yeah.
That has historically, until 2003 in some parts of the United States, been considered a sex crime.
What the fuck?
Exactly. And stuff like being trans or being gender non-conforming or whatever, hell, there's even cis straight women that are being turned away, or not turned away, but being kind of questioned as they go into a bathroom. This is the women's bathroom. Fuck you, mate. I just cut my hair short. Just fucking butch. Get out of my way. So, anyway, massive fuck you to people that are like, yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with this. But it's just like, you can often get a lot of people on board by being like, hey, we're just trying to get rid of sex criminals. And it doesn't take into account that a load of people have historically been charged with sex crimes because of stuff like this, like them being queer, which, as I cannot stress enough, is not a fucking crime.
No.
Sleeping with another man, not a crime.
No.
Being trans, not a crime.
No.
And also, any of those things are not an indicator if someone is going to commit crimes.
Nope.
Go ahead, Sarah. Do you know in the 80s, the police used to, like, in Britain, they would actually go in and raid gay clubs, but because of the threat of AIDS, they would go in with, like, fucking washing up gloves on their arms. And Paul O'Grady was doing Lily Savage once in a club when the police broke in, and Lily Savage is just like, guess they had to do the washing up.
Assholes.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back into it.
Yeah, sure. I've interrupted enough. You've got over the stammering bit now.
Yeah. So I'll just do that bit where Elle...
Sorry, of course.
It's okay. Elle tells him that she specialises in sex crimes and she speaks Spanish, so her and the team can help and teach them interview strategies. JJ suggests that a press conference could help let the public know what they're looking for. In the bullpen, JJ advises the captain what to say and how to act in the press conference. The captain asks what to say if the media questions why they're looking for a rapist when they're trying to catch a killer. She tells him not to mention the killer, just focus on letting the public know that he cares about the women in town and that they're committed to catching the men who hurt them. Reed mentioned it's easier to track a rapist because there are witnesses in those cases. Elle adds it gives them a chance to find the stressor that set off the killings. Pointing to a chalkboard containing names of the victims and the dates that they were killed, Elle notes that the first killing was 2 years ago and questions what happened to the unsubbed during that time. Morgan then reels off typical stressors: loss of job, loss of love, release from prison, something that made him feel impotent, frustrated and angry. He suggests talking to victims who reported rapes just before the first murder took place. JJ hopes a press conference will bring women forward, but she says that they also need to talk to some people directly. She instructs Captain to use all female officers that they have to put the victims at ease. But Detective Bowker said they don't have any women officers. So Elle tells him, you do know, acknowledging that her and JJ will assist the cops. In the next scene, Elle's with the Detective Bowker's out on the streets. He ends a phone call as she exits a building. She says that she's spoken Spanish so much that she's forgetting how to speak English. The detective tells her that she looks Latina. And Elle replies that's because her mum's Cuban. He tells her that he's been told that a woman called the police station with info on the rapist. The pair arrive at the woman's place of work to speak to her directly. The woman, Milagros, as we later discover, seems standoffish. She explains most of the time nobody cares what happens to the women in the town, so they don't speak to the police. She says 2 years ago the man came up behind her, raped her, and she turned around and started hitting him.
Didn't he just try to rape her?
Huh?
Didn't he just try to rape her? He didn't actually succeed because she fought him off. Have I lost my mind?
No, I think on Thingy it does say he did rape her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's alright. I'll go up to that bit. I'll just do the next bit. She says he was wearing a dress and she called him a pathetic woman before he ran away. Elle asked why she didn't report it if she wasn't scared of him. Milagros asked what good would it have done if she did. Back at the PD bullpen, Elle relays the info to the team. She tells them the attack happened 2 years ago in August. Reed then notes that the first murder happened in September of the same year. The captain surmises that she could have been the last victim before whatever stressor made him kill. Gideon thinks she was the stressor. Hodge posits that the unsub tried to rape again, but he couldn't get the sound of Milagros laughing and belittling him out of his mind. Morgan proposes that the unsub decides to try and rape older women at this point as they would put up less of a fight. Elle adds that when he couldn't go through with it, he got frustrated and killed the first woman and found the release he was looking for. At this point, Milagros and 6 other women arrive at the police station. They were all raped by the same man. She tells the team to prove to them that they will finally do some good. In the next scene, we see a shadowy masculine figure putting on lipstick. We only see his face from the nose down.
Mm-hmm.
He purses his lips and says, "Hola," into a mirror before lashing out and smashing it. In a dimly lit room at a house, there's an older woman who's seen from behind, sitting watching TV. The shadowy figure with false nails approaches her and strokes the back of her head. The screen then fades to black. Back at the police station, the captain asks Milagros how she found all the women. She says while they don't talk to the police, they do talk to each other. The captain encourages her and the women to tell their stories because the cycle does not end until this man is stopped. The team and the cops begin speaking to the women individually. Gideon sits alone, just observing. Once the team regroups, it appears all the women have the same story. The unsub approached them on the street, put a knife against their backs, blindfolded them, and then took them out to the desert. Reed explains that the unsub would kiss their necks while raping them, and JJ adds that when he finished, he would ask, "How did I do?" Gideon says it's classic power reassurance behaviour. The captain asks what that means. Elle explains that those types of rapists lack confidence and can't develop normal relationships with women. Reed puts forward the unsub lightly fantasises that these women are his girlfriends and he would be dissuaded if the victim screamed or struggled. The detective appears then, saying that he's been going over reports from victims and discovered 4 of them work in the same factory. Reed suggests the unsub either works there too or lives close by. Cue shaky footage of cop cars arriving at the factory. Once inside, Morgan's speaking to the owner. She's owned it for 9 years and claims she doesn't allow men she hires to abuse the women. She doesn't believe that the unsub actually works there. However, Morgan tells her the man they're looking for wouldn't be openly abusive. He might just like following women or peeking into the women's bathrooms. Hotch adds that he'll be shy with women, especially intimidated by the owner. The owner says, "The only way I could be a woman and run this plant is to make sure every man feels that way." Morgan asks how many men work there. She tells them over 50. Hotch then asks to look through all the employee records. In the owner's office, Reed notes he's found 3 dozen men who fit the target profile. Elle adds that almost all of the guys she's looked at have had citations for lewd behaviour against their female colleagues. They were warned on the first offence and fired if it happened again. Hotch says, "I wouldn't mess with her." Elle says to him, "Afraid of a woman, Hotch?" And then Morgan adds, "Shoot, I'd be afraid of her." The captain enters and tells the team only one of the men showed up in police records with a sex crime. He beat up a prostitute when she refused to get rough. Excuse me, I have fizzy pop. Hotch says he's not the guy they're looking for, as the unsub would be scared of women, not attacking them. Well, I reckon.
No, maybe still look into him.
Yeah.
I mean, he did attack someone.
Yeah. But, you know.
Yeah. Why would the police do their jobs? Why bother looking at an angry man?
Who knows?
Could we round up some more queer people to scapegoat instead?
Assholes. So, with these files, there's too many men to interview, so they need to narrow down the profile. The captain points out that from what he's heard, the unsub completely lacks machismo, unlike typical Mexican men. Referring back to what the unsub said to the woman after they raped him, Elle says that guys with confidence don't need to ask it. They don't need to ask if they've done a good job. They just assume it. This gives Hotch an idea. Elle and Hotch go to speak to the factory owner, and Elle tells her that the unsub is desperate to impress her, always wanting approval. Hotch adds that he may constantly ask, "How did I do?" The owner appears to think of someone and then mumbles in Spanish before coming out with the name, Pablo Vargas, and says he's been on vacation for 4 days. And Elle notes that's how long it's been since Lupe was killed. Hotch then asks what Pablo's job role is. The owner says he's the floor manager of Section 16, women's plus sizes.
Right.
He asks, so that's probably where he got the dresses from.
Yeah, probably.
He asks for Pablo's address and any other information she has on him. In the next scene, they arrive at Pablo's address and Elle knocks on, calls him in Spanish but gets no response. The windows are taped up with newspaper and rubbish bags, but she can kind of see light through a little gap, and then relays via radio that someone is inside and the TV is on. She instructs armed cops to force entry. Once inside, Elle enters a room and finds what looks to be an elderly woman from behind. And she spins the chair around to find the skeletal remains of an older woman, presumably his mother. And, yeah. So she summons Hotch to show him. Elle then spots the woman's wearing Anna's necklace. Hotch then notices photocopied IDs of the rape victims pinned to the wall. In the next scene, we see some older women and other people heading home from evening mass. The woman in a purple dress bids farewell to her friend and tells her to be careful and lock the doors. They get flash cuts then to a figure retrieving a knife from a kitchen. Back at the police station, the captain points out that they now have a name, but he's unsure how they actually find him. Hotch says they always question why this victim, why the next victim. They need to figure out how he targets his victims so then they can get ahead of him. The captain points to the chalkboard full of names and dates and asks Detective Borges what it is. The detective says he's charged all the names of the rape victims who came in. The captain then notes that the name Torres and says there's a murder victim with the same surname. The detective adds that there are hundreds of people in the town with the same name, so the captain requests a look at the statements. Gideon is trying to make sense of the names before the captain realises it's the maiden names that match both the murder and the rape victims. Gideon looks between the two boards. He then says he's killing the mothers of the women he raped. Reed points out that it's in the same order too. So they deduce that the next victim is going to be the mother of Milagros, the final rape victim. The team runs from the room and heads to her mother's house. The cop cars pull up outside the house, and armed cops and the team make entry where Elle spots a trail of blood. She summons Morgan and together they follow the trail, leading them to the back of the property. Morgan spots a body on the ground, and from the back it looks like an elderly female. But then they hear coughing and the person rolls over to reveal that it's Pablo, dressed as a woman and covered in blood. And it looks like he got a hell of a beating. The team hear rustling in nearby trees and draw their guns in the direction of the sound. And it's the rape victims holding bloodied weapons. It appears that they've caught and attacked Pablo before he could kill Milagros' mother.
Just like to say,
yeah,
if the police are that bad at their jobs, but the women are like, actually, we'll solve this themselves, that's not great. No, the police should get better.
Yeah. As the women approach, Milagros says he pretended to be a woman. Now he doesn't have to pretend. Back at the police station, the cops and the team look on as the Attorney General speaks to the women, presumably congratulating them and thanking them for apprehending the killer. The captain then asks her if the women will be charged. She asks why. She says they're only defending their homes. She commends Gideon for a good job. Technically a team effort, but yeah, just thank him. Sure.
Well, he's the only person on the team, you know that. Everyone else is just there.
Just pad out the numbers.
Yeah.
As the team prepares to leave, the captain gives Hotch his business card and tells him to call him the next time he's in town. Talking to Gideon, he says he's thinking of starting a BAU in this district. But Gideon tells him that it takes a lot of training. Together they bid farewell and the team leaves. Hotch then gives the closing bookend quote, which is Mexican proverb, the house does not rest upon the ground, but upon a woman. And end credits.
Thanks for that, Sarah. We'll be right back with the episode discussion after this short break.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Now we are going to do the episode discussion for Machismo. So this is the part of the podcast where we speak about interesting points, notable guest stars, and of course, our baby girl or pretty boy of the episode.
Yeah.
So, interesting points. Sarah, I don't know, do you want to do the first two and I'll do the third?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for the interesting points, we have Hotch does both the bookend quotes this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gideon usually does it. There has been cases where Gideon's done one, Hotch has done one. But Hotch does both.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, it's the first episode in which the team have gone to another country to investigate a case.
Yeah. It's not something that happens a lot.
No.
Because as I said earlier, the FBI are domestic, CIA is international. But I understand they were just going there to help out, essentially.
Yeah.
They do go to Canada in season 4.
Yeah.
And there is a whole spin-off later on. It's in about season 5 or something, maybe season 6, where there's actually a Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, and there's a whole spin-off show.
Oh.
It only did 1 season, but so they go to a lot of different countries. So yeah. There's also another thing that was mentioned and that we don't have first-hand knowledge of because we don't live in Spanish-speaking countries.
Yeah.
But in reality, mothers and daughters in Spanish-speaking countries wouldn't necessarily have the same surnames. In most Spanish-speaking countries, people have 2 surnames, their fathers and their mothers. The married people don't usually take the husband's surname, so the mother would have her mum's and her dad's surname, but wouldn't have her husband's.
Yeah.
But they've got to have some way of them linking its mothers and daughters, so I do understand why they did it.
Yeah.
But that actually is it's a slightly interesting bit in the true crime as well that it relates to. Okay, and now we are moving on to notable guest stars.
Yes.
Sarah, do you want to do the first one and I'll do the second one?
Yes. So, it was hard to find anyone who had any notable roles. I think most of them were just bit parts in different things.
Yeah.
But one I did find was Juan Carlos Cantu, who played Diego Trejo, the brother-in-law of Lupe. He played the role of Manuel Vaga in the crime series Better Call Saul.
Which is one I haven't seen.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it, though.
I think it comes off of Breaking Bad. So my assumption, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but my assumption is your sister has seen it.
Maybe, I don't know.
No? Okay. I thought she seemed like a kind of Breaking Bad sort of viewer, but never mind.
I have no idea.
And the second one is one that we have brought up before in the first episode, but it's Meredith Monroe as Hayley Hotchner, who is best known maybe to me, and I don't know if other people know her for something else, but it's Andy McPhee in Dawson's Creek.
Yes.
Because I am nothing if not a child of the 90s.
Yes, me too.
Yes. I watched all 6 seasons of Dawson's Creek. The last episode still really haunts me. It's like a... Have you ever seen Dawson's Creek?
I would have seen bits over the years, but I never actually sat and watched like entire series.
Okay, yeah. The last episode is a really bizarre episode, and I kind of wish they just... It was like a... From my memory, it's like a double episode. Like the last 2 episodes form one giant episode. But it's a bizarre ending, and I kind of wish they'd just cut it off at like 2 episodes from the end and been like, this is the end.
Yeah.
Not done a weird flash forward thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this isn't a Dawson's Creek podcast.
No.
That one will be called Tales from the Creek. Oh, it will mix Jonathan Creek and Dawson's Creek every other episode. Oh, I'm done. I'm done with that nonsense. Right? Okay.
Yes. Let's move forward.
And so our episode MVP. Does anyone want to guess? Anyone listening want to guess who our baby girl or pretty boy of the episode is?
Yeah.
Anyone? Anyone? Elle! Elle! Yes! Listener! It's Elle!
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yes.
God. Me and Sarah just have a extreme bias for Elle Greenaway.
Yeah.
I actually put, because Sarah's comments were Elle, bilingual queen, determined to support the women of the town, and I responded to that in the document, no arguments from the Greenaway fan club.
It was just blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
There's nobody else we could have chose.
No one else stood out in this episode, but my God. I think we should actually have like a tally chart,
yeah,
and be like who, and then it's just going to be like everyone else has got like 1 or 2. Gideon's got like half.
Well, what we'll do? We're only a few episodes to the end of the season.
Oh, we'll do it in the last episode.
So in the last one, we can just do a run of who've been chosen every time we got it.
Oh yeah, we should do.
That would be funny.
In a related thing, oh yeah, Elle is our baby girl of the episode. Woo! No one is surprised.
Yeah.
Relatedly, I have made us a tally chart.
Yay!
It's how Criminal Minds treats queer characters.
We should just have a tally episode.
Yeah, villain, victim, other.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know this about queer people, Sarah, but it turns out they're not a monolith. Queer people actually can have rich lives that don't involve murdering or being murdered.
Yeah, don't say.
In fact, they could be anything. For instance, law enforcement, a random person in the town, like someone who runs the garage.
Yeah.
You know, a waitress that saw something.
Yeah.
A member of law enforcement. They could be any of these.
Yes.
But are they in Criminal Minds?
No, probably not.
No, by and large, no. So let's do this together, Sarah.
Yes.
So the first one, we had episode 2. Do you remember him? The bike messenger without a name?
Oh, yes.
Do you remember how I was like, he is actually the best queer representation we get on this show for a while.
Yeah.
So, unnamed bike messenger.
Goes another.
Yes, excellent. He was only suspected of being a villain.
Yes.
So, good work.
Yes.
And then, right. So, I don't know whether we should count Canon by Spencer Reid. Because he's not shown to be canonly bi, and although I will interpret it as he definitely is bi, and believe me, we'll get to that in season 2, guys.
Nice.
And then probably not again until like season 10.
Yeah. Let's take him another.
Okay. So actually no. Maybe we don't put Spencer on there because it's not canon. We'll put him on as things happen.
Yeah.
And I will bring this up again. Okay, so I can't really think of how many queer characters we actually had in season 1. I will probably have to go back and redo it.
Yeah.
Rewatch. But, so, we had episode 18, Somebody's Watching.
Yes. Killer. Yes.
And so, in this episode, it's a bit complicated.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, we have Miguel, who is treated as a villain, even though he's just gay.
Yeah.
So he is obviously other.
Yeah. And then you got Roberto as well.
Oh, yeah.
So he's other.
I mean, we're counting people without...
Like, they were both suspects, but... Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Pablo.
Yeah.
Pablo Vargas. So let's discuss it. He's not... They're not openly telling us he is, like, this is his identity.
Yeah.
And...
He just likes to wear women's clothes.
Yeah. And wearing women's clothes doesn't make you, like, a man wearing women's clothes doesn't make that man trans or gay.
No. Because, fun fact, when I was younger, my dad did wear one of my mum's dresses. We have a photo.
Oh, right.
Like, me, my sister, and my cousin, we all had orange dresses.
Oh, so you wore an orange
dress?
dress?
But then my dad wore my mum's orange dress and stood behind us.
Okay. So, yeah. So we have Pablo Vargas.
Yes.
And although he's not explicitly queer, and I do not claim him, I, in fact, would like to not claim him as a queer person. I am afraid that he is pretty queer-coded. Like, for 2006, a man dressing up in women's clothing, definitely queer.
Yeah.
So, I'm afraid, villain.
Yeah.
So, we have 3 in other.
Mm.
One of them does not have a name.
Yeah.
2 of them have, like, what, 1 line each?
Yeah.
Like, I think Roberto has, like, maybe 6 words he says.
Maybe a sentence or 2.
Yeah. And,
same with Miguel, he's not got much.
No, he doesn't speak for a lot of the episode because he's, you know, not wanting to out himself, which Gideon does. We're not even gonna take into account in this how they're mistreated by other members of the other characters. Just how Criminal Minds as a whole treats its queer characters. So this is joining my insufferable loser cards as part of my ongoing Criminal Minds props.
Yeah. Maybe after season 1 we'll do like a bonus feature on Instagram.
Yeah.
Have like an actual tally of several tallies, maybe.
Yeah.
Different things.
It can be like just a kind of. It can be in because we didn't get the Christmas episode because the image, the camera file's corrupted.
Yeah.
We can do a bonus tally episode in the break between season 1 and 2.
Why not?
Yeah. How Criminal Minds treats its queer characters. How many women are now dead.
How many times we chose El Greenaway as our MVP.
How many times Emma has said, "Shut up, Elle is speaking."
Yes.
Zip it, Hotch.
Yes.
Actually, I've got one. How many times someone says, "Oh, there was no need to dust for prints," and then it actually turns out that when someone, notably Elle, bothers to dust for prints, it's like, "Well, we found some interesting prints." Oh, did you? Did you?
Oh,
Who would have thought? I mean, it's kind of a basic crime.
Yeah.
But whatever. Basic investigation tool, but...
Yeah.
Why bother? What a lot of hassle to find a murderer.
Yeah. Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Look out for the tally episode. Sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
And we'll be right back with a true crime recap after this short break. Welcome back for our true crime recap. Emma, it's time to deliver the profile.
I actually went for the case of José Antonio Rodríguez Vega, who has the nickname the Old Lady Killer. So he was active in Santander in Spain during the 1970s and 80s. First of all, he was a serial rapist targeting young women, and then he became a necrophiliac serial killer targeting at least 16 elderly women.
Yeah.
So a lot of the information that I got came from the Criminal Minds wiki, because it is actually quite hard to find like English language sources. I found 2 English language podcasts that just covered his crimes. One was as part of a longer episode, so it was only about maybe 6-7 minutes where they were actually talking about him, and another one was just like a 6-minute short episode. So this actually may be the longest English language podcast about him. As Sara said in the interesting points of the episode, or maybe as I said, Spanish people have 2 last names. The first one is the first last name of the father, and the second is the first surname of the mother. Normally, they would have also more than one first name and choose to use all or one. So, for instance, it would be, so his 2 first names are José Antonio, and the 2 last names are Rodríguez Vega. But he would have most likely gone by José Rodríguez. But as you often see with serial killers, they will use the middle name, or like even notable killers, like it's John Wayne Gacy. Because if you just say the first name and the last name, like how many John Gacys are there? And then, you know, you're just like, "Oh, hi, my name's John Gacy." It's what? It's like, no, not him. That's why they use the middle name when they often talk about them in the press. So for this reason, because Jose and Rodriguez are very common names in Spain and Spanish-speaking countries, he will often be referred to by the full name to avoid confusion with any completely innocent Jose Rodriguez's. So he was born in 1957, and his family was not great. His grandfather was rumoured to have poisoned his grandmother. His father and elder brother were violent alcoholics. It does not say when the brother became an alcoholic, because I'm like, how much older was this brother than him that he's already an alcoholic? But also, it was the 60s, so... His mother was also described as aggressive, dominant, and violent. So, not
the greatest upbringing, no.
No. And so you can kind of see in his early life where the problems began. It doesn't excuse it, but you can see how it joins up.
Oh, yeah.
At 8 years old, he was sexually assaulted by a 50-year-old woman that he considered a friend. Jesus. It is not clear whether he considered her a friend and this was a sort of grooming situation, or whether it was a family friend.
Yeah.
Either way, disgusting and awful.
Yeah.
After this, the source I read said that he compulsively masturbated, and if I'm honest, that does sound maybe like sexual assault victims coping with their assault through hypersexuality.
Yeah.
And you're not going to like this next sentence, Sarah. Another possible consequence of the sexual assault is that he developed sexual impulses towards his own mother. Probably because she was the same age as his abuser. It's possible that this was some kind of recontextualizing the abuse. It could even be that he blamed her for not protecting him. Anyway.
Okay, the person. What the fuck?
This disturbed him, obviously. So he kept it a secret. Obviously. In 1975, he was 18 and he was becoming violent. You know, because of the way he was brought up.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of environment that breeds non-violence.
No.
He then threw his father down the stairs, and I know that we're not feeling a lot of sympathy for the violent alcoholic, but his dad was using a wheelchair at the time. Like,
well, damn.
The podcast described him as wheelchair bound.
Yeah.
And a different podcast said he was terminally ill. But we don't have time to really get into the ethics around that. So his dad died and Rodríguez Vega was kicked out of the house. Then he married his girlfriend, who was also 18. They'd gone to school together. Yeah. And both families disapproved. And now I'm like, I understand the girl's parents being like, he's violent and he murdered his dad. Yeah. You shouldn't marry him. But what fucking objection did his family have? Like, what the hell? What's she bringing to the relationship that you could possibly disapprove of?
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't know much about this woman. Thankfully, I'm not going to repeat her name. And they had a son together, whose name I'm also not going to bring up because, you know, why? The marriage quickly broke down. Can you imagine why, Sarah?
He's a violent piece of shit.
Yeah, it was the anger and the violence and the jealousy. At the age of 20 or 21 in 1977, he's arrested for raping 2 women and trying to rape 3 others because, and I quote, he was bored. You know, I mean, when I'm bored, I cut like an inch off my hair.
When my sister's bored, she shaves her hair off.
Yeah, but do you notice how none of these things that we've mentioned are like violent sexual assaults?
Yeah.
Like, if you're bored, just try clipping some of your hair off. You don't have to hurt other people.
No.
These crimes were categorized as opportunistic. He'd approach women who were walking alone on his scooter, by the way. He's driving his scooter, not the scooters we have today, but one that looks like a
manual powered.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think that they mean scooter like they mean like moped.
Okay.
I don't think he's on like like, I'm not sure that really brings in the kind of fear that you'd expect it to.
Hold on.
Let me get my knee pads on. Yeah, anyway. So he sees them walking alone while he's riding his scooter down the road. It's probably like no one around, and so he's just like, woman walking alone, I can attack her. You know, pulls up in the scooter, attacks her quickly, and then gets back on the scooter and leaves.
Nice.
Now, it's said that in the trial he showed no remorse, and so he was sentenced to 27 years in prison. But then he wrote apology letters to the women, and he even had his mum contact these women to like plead for them to forgive him. The reason he did this is because under Spanish law, if your victim pardoned you, you get a lesser sentence. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. Stop that. 4 out of the 5 people that he attacked forgave him, and he only served 8 years.
What the fuck?
So, now, this is a mother that kicked him out of the house for being aggressive and violent, and then she contacts his rape victims to be like, can you please forgive my son? It was just an accident. Don't worry. Also, wait, hasn't he killed his dad and no one's done anything about that? Because that wasn't in any of my sources. They just went, when he was 18, he killed his dad and his mum threw him out of the house. Nothing else happened. She didn't call the police. No one investigated, as far as I could tell. If someone in the listenership speaks Spanish and can translate some Spanish language sources, that might have an answer. But yeah, no one's done anything about that. And then she's just like, hey, can you let my son out of prison, please? No. Yeah. Just before his 1986 release, his wife divorces him and moves towns.
I would too.
For the reason that she didn't divorce him to begin with, my guess is Catholicism. And she thought, well, he's going to be locked up for 30 years anyway, so no need to rush anything. I can just wait 30 more years, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's my guess as to why she went, actually, no, I'm divorcing you before you get out. I'm sorry. No one near me. Now, he then began a relationship with another woman. And while having this relationship with the other woman, he tried to move himself and this woman back into his mum's house. But of all the things to hold against him, right? So again, killed his dad, sexually assaulted 5 women, and whatever violence his wife was subjected to. She said that she wouldn't allow him to live in her house with a woman he wasn't married to. That's where you draw the line, is it?
Yeah.
Murder and rape is fine, but I don't know. Living in sin.
What the fuck?
Now, this, by the way, is what he cites. He never forgives his mum for not letting him live in her house with this woman that he's not married to. And this is what he cites as the number 1 reason he starts killing and raping older women. This. Not the abuse you suffered growing up. Not the fact that she let you get violent. Sorry, not the abuse you suffered growing up in that family. Not the abuse you were subject to as a child that your mum either did nothing about or did nothing like to protect you. This. Because your mum was like, no, you and your girlfriend can't move into my house. I think God thinks you're wrong.
Mummy said no, so now I'm going to kill people.
I just think this family has weird priorities.
Yeah.
Like, this
Just
being where you draw the line.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Very.
So, in 1987, he began his murder spree. The first woman he killed was April 15th, 1987. It was Victoria Rodriguez Morales, 61. She was a sex worker who he paid for sex regularly. One time, they were just talking in bed. I think they were discussing, like, sex.
Yeah.
And he said he got the urge to suffocate her by putting his hands over her nose and mouth, which he did until she died.
The fuck? I have no words.
Yeah. And then it just continues quite a lot, like over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
It averages out about like 1 every 6 weeks. Like, so I'll give you the names in a minute, but I want to let you know that not a lot is known about the details of the other murders, but all of the, at least in the English sources.
Yeah.
But in all of the other victims, there was the same MO. They were being raped and killed by suffocation. All of them were elderly women who lived alone and had either hired him to do construction work or that he would convince to let him inside through a ruse. You know, like knocking on the door and being like, there's something wrong with your roof, I can fix it. If you just let me come inside and go upstairs, don't worry, it's a lot quicker than like calling a roofer.
Yeah.
It would take me 20 minutes, seriously. You don't want to waste your money on a roofer.
No.
So he would either do that or he would do the construction work that he'd been hired to do.
Yeah.
And then come back under the pretense of checking on it. You know, let me just see how it's holding up, see if there's any errors.
Yeah.
So once inside, he would talk to his victims fairly normally and then begin to sexually assault and rape them, either using his penis or a foreign object, which is where you get the knife usage on the episode. He would then place his hand over their nose and mouth to suffocate them whilst he was raping them. He then, for some reason, right, I haven't put this in my notes, but he was like, oh no, they were definitely still alive, just unconscious while I was doing this. And I was like, in what world are you saying that as if it makes it any better? Like, sorry, what? No, they were definitely alive when I was doing that. All right. When did they die? Because was it while you were still there? Even if it wasn't, it's still your fucking fault. Like, no, they were definitely alive while I continued to rape them.
Yeah.
All right.
Asshole.
After each kill, he would put the victims in bed, put their arms crossed over their chest, which I have to imagine is like this.
Oh, yeah.
For the listeners, I'm doing a sort of, I think it's like how you would traditionally stage a dead body, but to me, all I'm thinking about is the pharaohs in Egypt.
Yeah, it's like an old way of posing on my neck. Yeah.
I've got my arms crossed over, my forearms crossed over my chest and my hands on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Then you'd put them in bed, pose them like that, and then tuck them in for taking items from their house, generally jewelry. Yeah, and then he would return home to have sex with his girlfriend. And then he would place these items in a room in his flat or house that was painted red. And now I just, like, imagine you live with your boyfriend. He comes home, he has sex with you, And then he goes to this room in the house that is painted entirely red and just displays a bit of jewellery there. Like, one, how is there an entire room that you're able to keep in your house that's just like, oh, here are my trophies from my serial killing?
Yeah.
Like, what? Sorry, was this the only thing the room was used for? Like, do you not have storage issues? It doesn't matter. I know that's not the important part of the episode or the important part of the case, but it's just so confusing to me. Like, if genuinely, if I went into a house and anyone just had a room dedicated to a collection of anything, I'd be like, oh, this is a bit odd.
Yeah.
Like, if I walked into a house and someone had, like, a load of Beanie Babies just around their box room, I'd be like, fuck is this?
Yeah.
How many Beanie Babies could you possibly own? Now, because the women lived alone, their bodies weren't found for a few days. And the police wrote off these deaths as being natural causes because of their age. By the way, these women were sometimes, like, in their 60s. Yeah. So, like, I know being in your 60s in 1987 was different than being in your 60s today, but still not a regular thing. And concerns were raised by the family, who noted bruises to their mother's body, and sometimes them being found in a state of undress, like not wearing underwear or not wearing anything on the bottom half of their body to bed. Yeah. And at no point in the research did it say that he ever, like, put them into, like, a night dress or anything. Yeah. So I kind of was imagining that she's still dressed in, like, her day clothes. Yeah. And she's in bed. Like, that's yourself a flag. Also, how many people are dying from natural causes and being found with their arms crossed over their chest? Yeah. That's not a natural way you find someone. No one is asleep and like, right, here's the pose I'll take just in case I die in the night. Yeah. Like, at that point, are you not seeing a pattern? Like, who the hell dies like this? Yeah, weird. Just the posing alone would be, like, someone goes to bed in their day clothes? Sure, they're old. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they just wanted to go to bed. They're not wearing underwear. Perhaps they'd gone to the bathroom before they took a nap and decided that they wouldn't put their underwear back on. Yeah. But that pose is something that would definitely make me suspicious. Yeah. The morgue employee also brought this up, including saying that 3 women he worked on had vaginal bruising. The police didn't listen to him, so he went to the press, and still the police dismissed it. By the way, just as a little aside, if you're vulnerable in any way, disabled, older, or even just, you know, fairly short, or a woman in general. Yeah. If you're vulnerable and you need some work doing, like, you know, the boiler or anything like that, where you have to invite a stranger into the house, particularly a strange man, arrange for someone else to be there at the same time. Be like, yes, you can come on Tuesday the 9th. That's wonderful. My daughter will also be there that entire day with me. Yeah. My neighbour is coming in and they will sit with me and watch TV while you work on the boiler. Yeah. I'm guessing that these women just felt like they could trust him, which is why they allowed him into their homes in the first place. And also, someone comes to the door and says, hi, I'm here to, you've got a problem with your roof, I can fix it. No, they can't. Just be like, I'll take your card, thank you. And then look up on Checker Trade for, I suppose, someone who's been reviewed and isn't insane. Yeah. Not sponsored by Checker Trade, by the way. No. So I'm going to run down the list of victims here. in order with the dates, and there's not much to say because many of the crimes actually have the same thing happen just over and over again. Followed a very distinct pattern. So I'm going to run through the names and the ages and the dates of these women's deaths. June 13th, Simona Salas Menendez, 84. August 6th, Margarita Gonzalez Sanchez, 82. She was actually made to swallow her false teeth, and I don't know how they were making false teeth in the 80s. I'm very confused as to how you would actually, because I've only seen false teeth as like a plate, like in the UK. Like it molds to your gum, the top of your mouth. So I am unsure how that actually works. If he perhaps, when he was holding her mouth, whether he broke a part of the plate, or like maybe she had a bridge or an implant that he dislodged. But made to swallow her false teeth is just disgusting. September 17th was Josefina Lopez Gutierrez del Anilo, 86. September 30th was, now, two separate sources listed a different first name, so it could be the thing where she also had two first names. So I'm just going to read both of them. Carmen Manuela Gonzalez Fernandez, 80. October 6th, Josefina Martinez, 84. October 31st, Natividad Robledo Espinoza, 86. Or, according to a different source, 66. It's said that he had trouble defining or describing the age of the women he would attack. He said he would attack women who reminded him of his mother, who would have been in her 50s or 60s at this time. But I'm like, the police still know when she was born. He's guessing. You do have a date of birth for her, and it's not a 20-year range. But anyway, I'm going through, like third-party sources. So, December 18th, Catalina Fernandez, 93. December 29th, Maria Isabel Fernandez, 82. And then in 1988, January 6th, Maria Landazabal, 72. January 30th, Carmen Martinez Gonzalez, 65. February 11th, Ingracia Gonzalez Aranada, 65. February 23rd, Josipa Criollos Lano, 82. March 16th, Florinda Fernandez Valicevero. April 2nd, Serena Soto Agueles, 85. And April 19th, 1988, Julia Paz Fernandez, 71. She died in an area that was overseen or run by the Spanish Civil Guard, and they learned that she had her door reinforced before she died by a man that, when they looked him up, had a history of rape. They told the police, who then discovered that a number of other victims also had their doors reinforced in the days before they died.
Strange coincidence.
Yes, what an odd thing to have happened to multiple women, especially when, the families and the fucking morgue attendant was bringing up to you, this seems strange. I don't think, and they were found with their arms crossed crossed over their chest, which is an unnatural way for anyone to be found after they've died. No one sleeps like this.
No.
So, that is 15 women after the first one. So, it's just that there were multiple chances for them to catch this guy before he murdered many other elderly women. And we're frankly lucky that the last victim, Julia Paz Fernandez, died in an area run by the Spanish Civil Guards because apparently they were the only ones who went, hey, wait, this seems odd. Do you know she had work done at her house by a man who was in prison for rape? Meanwhile, the Spanish police are just like, sorry? What? Sorry, I was asleep.
Mental.
So, finally, Rodríguez Vega was arrested, and he was really fucking chill when he admitted to killing 9 women because he saw them as surrogates of his mother or his mother-in-law.
The fuck?
Who the hell chillly admits that? Excuse me, sir. Did you kill several elderly women? Yeah. What? No. Yeah, I did it. They reminded me of my mum.
What'd you do?
What?
Yeah.
The police searched his rental home, found the red room, which I'm gonna say something a bit controversial here, Sarah.
Yeah.
If you have an entirely red room in your house, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
Once my friends moved into a house and this entire room was painted like a bright red.
Yeah.
Not a deep red. So they find 30 or between 30 and 40 items displayed in the room. And many of them were recognized by relatives of the murder victims. You know, how that 10% of the items have not been claimed. Best case scenario, he's a thief. Or the mothers just had jewelry that their kids didn't know about.
Yeah.
Worst case, there are more victims.
Which seems more likely,
Yeah, does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He was examined by a forensic psychiatrist team who described him as a heartless psychopath and sexual pervert with capacity to distinguish between what is licit and what is not. He lacks guilt, compassion, and shame. He may repeat similar acts in the future.
No shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he definitely knew the difference between right and wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He just did it anyway, because that's why he apologized the first time. Because he was like, I know what I did was wrong, and by saying that I know that I'm sorry, I can get out of this.
Asshole.
Crime psychiatrist José Antonio Garcia Andrade said that the subject experiences great anxiety before sex, which results in insecurity with a reduced threshold for frustration. The neurotic traits of the subject are related to his sexual anomalies. The incest element was an unconscious trigger determinant to the succession of events, which I think means he's got a lot of messed up things around sex because he was abused when he was a child.
Yeah,
and
by
he
an old
blames
woman.
his mum. I think that's the basic non-lingo way for that.
Yeah.
In 1991, he was sentenced to 440 years in prison. Good.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the maximum term you can serve under Spanish law is 30. Which, at the time, he's born in 57, right? So he is 34 then. 30 years, He's 64. He's still got the capacity to go out, and he's clearly not stopping.
Yeah.
You know what they say about, like, the majority of murderers in prison have only killed once and can be rehabilitated? The majority of sex criminals, rapists, and the like, they have not only offended once. It's very hard to rehabilitate them.
Yeah.
Especially in a misogynistic world that treats the safety of women as an afterthought.
Yep.
So, now, I know, Sarah, you're thinking 1991, 30 years. That means
21.
2021. Insanely.
Yeah.
Now, Sarah, I want you to not look at the Google Doc while I'm saying this. I want you to look directly in my eyes. Insanely, he gave several interviews from prison saying that he expected to be pardoned and to make millions from telling the story of his crime.
The fuck?
I expect you to eat shit.
Yes.
Anyway, surprisingly, this and, you know, the whole murder and rape of elderly women made him unpopular with the rest of the prisoners. And he had to change prisons a lot. Smallest violin. In 2002, he was attacked, stabbed 113 times, and killed by 2 inmates who thought he was a snitch.
Good.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Not a bit sorry. It's like when I found out that people had killed Ian Watkins.
Yeah. Who gives a...
Ideally, I do understand that once you are in prison, you are a ward of the state, and that they are responsible for keeping you safe.
Yeah.
However, if you raped children or murdered elderly women, sorry, it's kind of your fault. These are the consequences of your actions.
Yes.
Like, actions have consequences. Oh well. So at least he's dead now.
Yeah.
And that is the end of the story.
Thanks, Lima. And we'll be back shortly for our section of What Would Penelope Garcia Do?
Welcome back. Now we are going to move on to our What Would Penelope Garcia Do section of the podcast. This is the part of the podcast where we bring up resources or a charity or a petition or something that is related to the episode in some way that we think that you could either benefit from as a listener or that you could help, or an organization that could perhaps benefit from your help.
Yeah.
So now, unsurprisingly, we actually do cover rape quite a lot.
Yeah.
We've also covered things like doorstep crime twice. In this episode, the unsub is, let's just say, queer-coded.
Yeah.
But, so Sarah messaged me and went, do you think we should do something about LGBT? And I was like, what? No way. We're not linking this horrible crime to someone's gender identity. He didn't kill people because he was gay or because he was trans. He killed them because he was an arsehole. And Sarah, like, I went off on Sarah about this. I know it was a big, like, wait, what? No. And Sarah was like, oh, I was thinking about Miguel. And I was like, oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So in this, we'll be focusing on Miguel, who is obviously kicked out of his house for being gay.
Yeah.
And we are going to get some resources for queer people, specifically queer young people, who are at risk of homelessness, because I don't know if you know this, but a horrifying statistic, Sarah, is that 40%, this is in the UK, I'm pretty sure the statistic is from the UK, 40% of young homeless people are queer. Because they are being kicked out of their house, or they feel the streets are safer than their house.
Which is depressing.
And frankly, their families should be fucking ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
If you are not prepared to have queer kids, don't have kids. If you are not prepared to have disabled kids, don't have kids. Like, this is our motto. If there is any way that you are thinking there is, I suppose, conditionality to me being a good and effective parent, and that is based on something that they cannot control, like their sexuality, gender identity, or disability status, kids are not for you. With all the love in the world, we don't need people like you to have kids and traumatize their fucking kids. So, Sarah, do you want to take us away with the UK?
Oh, for the UK, we're going to talk about the Albert Kennedy Trust, or is it shortened form AKT. The mission is to ensure that LGBTQ plus 16 to 25-year-olds who are facing homelessness or a hostile living environment, they make sure that they have a safe place to live. So the trust has 4 offices located in London, Bristol, Manchester and Newcastle. On the website, they have a live chat that offers support to people across the UK as well. To get in touch with them if you in a situation like this where you are left homeless because maybe your parents have kicked you out or your home's unsafe to live in, you can email gethelp@akt.org.uk, or you can submit an online referral on the website www.akt.org.uk. You can refer yourself, or you can make a referral for someone else on their behalf. On this website, you'll also find advice, support, and signposting to other services. If you are in immediate crisis, you can call the Samaritans on 116-123. This is a free phone, it's 24/7 hotline. Please contact them if you need to. Or if you're in immediate danger, contact 999. And Emma, over to you for the US.
Hi, this is Emma from the editing booth here. I just wanted to let you know that in my initial recording I hadn't been able to find any nationwide LGBT youth homelessness charity or organisation, and the reason for that is probably because the United States is so big. So I have actually gone through as many as I can find, and I have left the resources in the description. So hopefully you'll find one in your state or territory that either you or someone you know can use, or that you can donate to. Thank you.
Just a note to all queer people who are listening to this. If your home is not a safe place because you are queer, that's not your fault. That is your family's fault. They need to do better. If they are not safe for you because you are queer, It is perfectly acceptable to do whatever you need to do to survive.
Yeah.
If you need to leave home and cut off all contact, that's right for you.
Yeah.
If you do not have the ability to do that monetarily, and you think it's safer for you to stay in the closet, that is fine.
Yeah.
We need you to survive.
Yeah. H1 time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all for this week, but come back next week when we'll be talking about Criminal Minds Season 1, Episode 20, Charm and Harm.
Yeah, sorry I left it on such a dire note, guys, but
It's okay.
while you're waiting for the next episode, why not follow us on social media? We're on Instagram at Looking for a Man His 30s Pod, Tumblr at Looking for a Man His 30s Pod, or you can email us at lookingforamanhis30s@gmail.com. All 3 times 30s is spelled out. Don't put 30, or you might get one of those bots that Instagram thinks we are.
Yeah. And you can also rate and review us on whichever platform you're using to listen to podcasts. And yes, we are douchey influencers, whether you like it or not, Emma. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications. It really helps.
Until next time.
This case is closed.
Boom.
Boom.